Good day, fellow shooters, DIYers. So you finally decided to cut your stock. Well, here's some advice and things to consider. First, you have to consider your stock is shaped like a triangle. Now, any amount that you cut off your stock will leave you a different measurement from this point to this point. It's going to be less than here. What does that mean? That means your recoil pad is not going to fit anymore. Since this is going to be smaller, this is smaller compared to here. I'm just exaggerating the amount of material that you're going to be cutting off. But in any case, since this is slanted, it's going to be a different measurement from whatever point you cut it. It's going to be smaller. You have to take that into consideration. You have to find out if you could adjust your recoil pad to match that length. That's one you have to take into consideration before you do go on with this project. Next would be the screw hole receivers. Yeah, have these most especially on synthetic stocks. You have to consider that. They used to be going all the way up here, your screw receivers, where you screw in your recoil pad. They used to be here, right there. That's where your screws go in. Now, if you've cut that, they're going to move. They won't be there anymore. They're going to be smaller. Well, in considering the distance between them, since your stock got smaller, your screws stayed the same length in between them. You have to consider that you're going to have to move those screw holes, and if you have enough room to screw them in, or you might even have to move them. You have to take that into consideration too, that you're going to have to move these screws depending on how much you cut off. Also take into consideration if you have enough room or area or material to for your screws to grab into. There's that too. On synthetic stocks, that's kind of a problem because they're pretty much hollow. They're pretty much hollow. So, but on wood stocks, it's different. On wood stocks, you have a lot of area. Usually, the hollow area would only be this area. Very small area. All other else is filled with wood, so when you do cut it down, you have a lot of places to adjust your screw holes. You can either move up and down or however. It's totally different with synthetic stocks. You have very limited area to screw your stock in. So you have to take that into consideration before you go with this project. This is not easy. It's a little bit on the difficult side. Now finishing whatever you cut, sandpaper, a file, however you want to do it, just make it smooth, follow that line. Now, that line and cutting, here's some more advice. This here's my Stoeger M2K, MK2, I'm sorry, MK2000. Yeah, hope I'm getting it in the frame. When you want to cut your stock, measure the amount with a caliper, how much you want to remove. And then you score through it. What you do is you take your caliper on one edge with the recoil pad removed. That would be your stopper. Set it right there. Oops, slipping because I have the recoil pad on. What you want to do is get it to grab onto that side, at the same time pressing on this, scoring your stock while you're running it. You'll get an even line that goes all the way around while you score that line. Once you get that line, follow that through with a masking tape. Go all the way around. Then your line is established. Once you have your line, what you want to do when you're cutting, whatever you do, do not cut this side and that side at the same time, trying to keep it straight, going all the way down. No. What you want to do is you want to cut all the way around. Cut this way. Cut, 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 cut with a hacksaw. It'd be kind of difficult with a Dremel. It goes too fast, it overheats, and you'll have melted plastic and all that stuff. Just go with a hacksaw, just do it real slow. I love to show you guys how I do it, but I love the length of my it's perfect length for my my shotgun, so I don't need to cut it. What you want to do is to cut all the way around, following that masking tape with that line all the way around. Don't cut them at the same time. It don't matter how straight you think you're going, you're gonna be wobbling, and you won't get that perfect line. Cut all the way around, all the way around, just through the material. On wood stock, do the same thing. Just surface, and then once you created your line, would have about a quarter of an inch depth on the wood stock, then you can proceed to go deeper, but cut all the way around. Follow that line. Always do that. Whatever is left in the middle for wood stock, you can always sand that off, file that off, Dremel that off, but you need this line to be straight so you can fit your recoil pad back on. Those are some advice. Oh, and if you want to do this, eliminate that bump there. I don't know if you want to do that. Only competition shooters do that, because that bump grabs onto your shirt or whatever you're wearing. So we cut that off. I cut that off and kind of sanded it off just a little bit, and to make it smooth, get that smoothness there back. You're not going to get that when you cut it or sand it. It won't be smooth. What you want to do is you get your heat gun or a torch, but very slow. You're going to burn it. Just heat it up. Once you get it to a point where it's pliable or soft, it's going to be hot. Be careful. Just use your fingers to mold it in to how you want it, or even shape it like this. Don't overdo it with a torch or a heat gun. You're going to melt the whole thing. Just keep checking on the temperature. Every time you heat it up, check how much pliable it is, how much you need to work on it. Just don't overdo it. Be careful with that one. That's you might melt the whole thing, and you'll end up buying a new recoil pad. So that's some advice on how to cut your stock. Good luck on your project, and I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.